The eternal duration of state was an unwritten rule of the Ottoman Empire. This sentence would have meant that the empire would last forever, and that the dynasty should consider the empire before its own interests. Therefore, for the sake of the empire, every sultan who came to power would kill his own brothers if necessary, even if they were innocent. Bayezid I, also known as Yıldırım Bayezid, or Bayezid the Thunderbolt, was one of the Ottoman sultans who joined this caravan. It was the 15th of June 1389, and perhaps the most tragic event in Ottoman history took place on that day. Today in this video, you'll get to know about the forgotten story of Şehzade Yakub Çelebi, who was the brother of Sultan Bayezid I. But before going further, it's our humble request to the viewers to subscribe to the channel, and do like and share the video. A few clicks of yours will not cost you anything, but it'll motivate us, and help our channel to grow. We really appreciate and regard your support. And please, give your feedback in the comments section below. Yakub Çelebi was an Ottoman prince. He was the son of Sultan Murad I, and half-brother of Bayezid I. He was one of the two sons of Murad I, who could succeed to the throne after him. He was a talented and well-educated prince, and raised by the best scholars of the state from an early age. He was widely admired for his courage, bravery, and kindness, especially in state administration and military matters. Since he started to hold the sword, he took part in all the wars of that time with his father Murad I. In the race for the throne, the biggest rival of Yakub Çelebi was his brother Yıldırım Bayezid. In those years, the Ottomans had made great progress in the Balkan lands, and were advancing with determined steps toward the interior of Europe. But this progress did not please the Christian world. According to them, the continent of Europe was the land of Christians, and of course, this new Muslim state had to be removed from these lands. They decided to organize a crusade to free their land. Therefore, the Christian states were united under the leadership of Commander Lazar Belyanovic. Sultan Murad I was aware of the situation. He took his army with his sons and also his best commanders, Yıldırım Bayezid and Yakub Çelebi, and started to advance towards the Balkans. The two armies met in Kosovo. The Ottoman Empire was standing on one side, and Christian principalities of Bosnians, Albanians, Bulgarians, Greeks, Hungarians, and some other minor principalities were on the other side of battlefield. Sultan Murad I took over the head of the central forces in the army order. He told his son Yakub Çelebi to command the left wing of the army, and his other son Yıldırım Bayezid to command the right arm of the army. The war that will determine the fate of the Balkans started with the attack of the Christian Knights. This pioneer unit of the Crusaders was under the intense arrow shots of the Ottoman archers from the front line of the wings, and started to break down. The Ottoman infantry raised their swords against the opponent cavalry and started to attack. They were backed up by the Janissaries under the command of Murad, and surrounded by the Ottoman cavalry guards. The two armies were in total turmoil. At the end of the war, which lasted for 8 hours, from morning to evening, the Crusaders began to flee with heavy losses. Both Yakub Çelebi and Yıldırım Bayezid fought on the front lines, and showed great bravery in the war. Sultan Murad I ordered his son Yakub Çelebi to deliver the last blow to the fleeing enemies, and told the left-wing army to chase the enemy under the command of the prince. Therefore, Yakub Çelebi left the battlefield, and followed the Crusaders with his army. The Kosovo War seemed to have ended in a great victory for the Ottomans, but more was going to happen before the sun went down. According to the early Ottoman sources, it is said that when the situation calmed down after the Ottomans' victory, Sultan Murad started to walk on the battlefield. He saw one of the wounded knights, who variously known as Milosopolis, lying on the ground among the corpses. He suddenly got up and stabbed the Sultan with a sharp dagger. Although Milosopolis was killed right there, Sultan Murad I also lost his life as a result of his dagger blow. The fate of the young Şehzade Yakub Çelebi was to be written after this event. According to old Ottoman tradition, there were no set rules of regulated succession, so every son of the Sultan could succeed his father. While Şehzade Yakub was pursuing the enemy, his father died, and viziers and pashas on the battlefield immediately gave allegiance to his brother Yıldırım Bayezid, and ascended him to throne as the new Sultan of the empire. Şehzade Yakub might not accept the sultanate of his brother Yıldırım Bayezid when he returned, and the army of Yakub and Bayezid would fight each other, so together they decided to murder Şehzade Yakub without question. A game was immediately arranged, and a messenger was sent to Şehzade Yakub, and it was said that his father Murad I had called him back. Şehzade Yakub was unaware of the incident. He thought that they were going to celebrate their great victory. So he returned and entered his father's tent. But unfortunately, he faced the executioners in the tent, not his father. Şehzade Yakub was strangled, and died on the order of his brother Bayezid, with whom he fought with the enemy a few hours ago. According to the rumor, it is said that Yakub Çelebi cursed his brother at the last moment of his life. He said, "Bayezid, you hurt me, I hope you too would not see the good of this throne." Although the murder of Şehzade Yakub caused great sadness among the soldiers as they loved him a lot, they had no choice but to pay allegiance to Sultan Bayezid, as he was the only heir to the throne. As a matter of fact, Yıldırım Bayezid did not make anyone wish that Prince Yakub would have ascended the throne. During the reign of Yıldırım Bayezid, he conquered many princely states, defeated the Hungarian and Bulgarian armies, and captured many castles. He defeated the army of Christian allies in the Battle of Nicopolis. He took control of most of Anatolia, and besieged Istanbul 4 times. But everything changed when Timur set his sights on Anatolia. In 1402, the Ottoman army was defeated in the Battle of Ankara, and Sultan Bayezid was captured by Timur. He spent the last year of his life in captivity, and died in 1403, at the age of 43. There are different stories about the death of Bayezid I. According to some sources, he committed suicide by hitting his head on the bars of the cell, or by poisoning himself. And according to some sources, he died from grief. Of course, this ending did not suit an Ottoman Sultan. Who knows, maybe this was because of the curse of his brother, Şehzade Yakub Çelebi.